Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP right now trading at about 96 cents. I have it up here on the hourly, guys. Not too much movement, guys. Low volume here for XRP trading. I mean, the entire market really hasn't seen much movement as of late. And if I zoom out on XRP, this is still on the hourly. Throw Fibonacci on there. You guys can see we're just hugging that 0.236 level. So not too much movement. Of course, we are likely going to see this for a while. And just to put things into perspective, if you guys haven't caught some of my previous videos, what I've been noticing is this fractal pattern here taken from 2017, superimposing it here on the chart. And so, by no means am I trying to estimate how long it's going to take, but for example, what I've noticed is that this fractal pattern really does line up with what we're seeing right now on the charts, right? We're seeing these lines, we're seeing these levels, these Fibonacci levels really kind of line up, and eventually we broke out of that. Now, this took a significant amount of time to get out of this. We were waiting about 209 days, and right now, if I were to take a measurement, we are at day 54. So significant amount of time to get out of this. This would be the equivalent of about November 2021. That's not to say that, by fourth quarter of 2021, we won't see that final leg up for altcoins. It could happen sooner. It might happen in quarter four. I mean, we don't really know. This is just gauging what could happen. I also did a video demonstrating that we are actually going through this cycle about 35% quicker, at least at the time of this recording. And so if you guys didn't catch that video, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. But ultimately, nothing really exciting happening in the crypto space. This is Bitcoin on the daily, and Bitcoin trading right now at about 36,500. Still trying to get out of this level of support. We've been seeing Bitcoin basically trading sideways over the last several days now since May 19th. So Bitcoin's got to get out of this first before we really start to see some kind of momentum, whether that's to the upside or to the downside. Ultimately, what we know is that Bitcoin, the heart of the market, we need to see that move first. And a lot's been going on recently. I saw this from Michael at Val5 Links. 2 senators on the Intelligence Committee suggested over the weekend that lawmakers should take increased measures to regulate and trace cryptocurrencies. So these recommendations have come after a second major ransomware attack within a month that has demanded payments in digital currencies. According to Forbes, Senator Roy Blunt unleashed a tirade on cryptocurrencies and the anonymity they provide. He did this on NBC News. 2 ransomware attacks on the Colonial Pipeline and meatpacker JBS sparked widespread gas shortages and meat plant shutdowns. Colonial paid the hackers around $4.4 million in Bitcoin, and it was unclear whether JBS had paid a ransom at the time of the writing, but Blunt stated that lawmakers should not allow cryptocurrencies to operate behind the scenes, calling them a ransom payment of choice for hackers. He failed to acknowledge that cash is still the prime currency of choice for most crimes, although digital currencies with high anonymity properties are increasing in popularity. For this type of incursion, Senator Mark Warner called for more transparency if a company does pay, referring to a cyber attack by Russian hackers who unleashed a computer virus on 18,000 government and private networks worldwide. And so this is the problem that the cryptocurrency community has had to face over the last several years now. We have politicians who don't really understand the difference between, and I guess I think they're actually understanding it more now than they did 3 years ago, let's say. For example, these politicians are suggesting that we should really pay attention to these privacy coins and maybe have stricter rules against them. I'm not hearing the broad stroke of we should ban all cryptocurrencies because this is bad now. So I do think we are getting in a space where cryptocurrency education is becoming maybe a bit more apparent within the political realm. So, I mean, that's good. Of course, at different levels in government, we've already heard that regulatory clarity is coming down the pipe. We've heard much talk about CBDCs and how those are going to operate through central banks. So I think that the narrative has changed. And despite these types of things, despite hackers requesting ransom in Bitcoin or whatever, we are definitely going to get politicians still advocating for stricter crypto rules. And, in this example, in terms of privacy coins, perhaps that's what needs to happen in order for us to get that wider clarity that we have been so longing to get. The good news, guys, is that there is more movement with regards to the legitimate, we'll call it legitimate cryptocurrency industry. Bank of England models a big shift towards digital currency bank reserves, guys. This coming from Matthew Lany here on Twitter, and we know XRP is a digital currency, and the BOE, the Bank of England, is a Ripple partner. A digital currency could boost economic activity by contributing to faster, cheaper, and more efficient payments. So this coming from Bloomberg, guys. A big portion of customer deposits at retail banks could shift to digital currencies if governments start start offering them, the Bank of England indicated in a discussion paper about the issue. The UK Central Bank modeled the impact of introducing digital forms of money on retail banking sector, and in one scenario considered what would happen if a fifth of all deposits went digital. The BOE said any large-scale reallocation of cash may impact money markets. The findings indicate that the scope and complexity of issues emerging as central banks weigh modernizing the way cash and payment systems work. The BOE, along with many of its peers, is considering whether to introduce a digital currency that would smooth the way online payments work. Here's a quote, guys. "We live in an increasingly digitalized world where the way we make payments and use money is changing rapidly." This coming from the BOE Governor Andrew Bailey. He continued by saying the prospect of stable coins as a means of payment and the emerging proposition of CBDCs have generated a host of issues that central banks, governments, and society as a whole need to carefully consider and address. And so this is how it would work. They're saying that these digital pounds in England, for example, would be directly issued to customers and not through the banks. Deposits would flow out of the banking system. Cunliffe said the banking system would have to attract funds, probably from the wholesale market, because they would lose retail deposits. It might put the cost of credit up by 0.1%, according to BOE modeling. So here is a particular model that the Bank of England is looking at in order to possibly deploy CBDCs or central bank digital currencies to their people. Interesting to see how they're looking at this. And let's not forget they are a Ripple partner as well. Probably not going to be part of their plan to distribute CBDCs. Nevertheless, it is good to know that the Bank of England looking for technology-forward solutions to solve these types of problems. I got another piece of news here, guys, from Bank XRP on Twitter. Singapore fintech firm Nio expands in UK before pursuing an IPO. And we know, guys, Nio is a Ripple partner. So they agreed to buy payments firm XRP for an undisclosed amount to expand in Europe before pursuing an initial public offering or an IPO in the United States. All of XRP's 86 employees in London and Malta will join Nio, according to an emailed statement from Nio on Monday. XRP, based in London, is best known for introducing Europe's first virtual prepaid card in 2003, an e-money licensed entity in Europe. The firm helps airlines and online travel agents reduce surcharges and earn rebates. So Prajit Nanu, who is the CEO of Nio, says we are on the path to an IPO. We've had SPAC opportunities, looked at them, but we wanted to give ourselves a calmer way to list. There is no reason to rush it. So Nio looking to expand, and of course they are acquiring more businesses. Obviously want to make that IPO look very, very enticing for potential investors, and so this is what their strategy is. Nio, of course, also a Ripple partner, so let's keep that in mind as well. And all the money here on Twitter at RealLisaDaily posted this with regards to Elon Musk. Now, we just recently got some Elon Musk news over the weekend, and how Anonymous recently sent a message, an ominous message to Elon Musk. I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch it. Elon, of course, going back and forth between, we're purchasing Bitcoin through Tesla, and we're going to offer it to purchase vehicles. And then he made a 180 on that statement, saying, no, actually, we're not. Actually, we have concerns about the greenness of that technology. Then there's all the tweets about Dogecoin, of course. Well, now he's saying this. Tesla billionaire Elon Musk, after helping the Bitcoin price reach never-before-seen highs this year with a $1.5 billion bet on Bitcoin, appears to have abandoned the cryptocurrency for Ethereum and meme-based Dogecoin. I pretty much agree with Vitalik, okay? This is what he posted on Twitter. I pretty much agree with Vitalik, meaning Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum. And this was a reply to a wide-ranging YouTube interview with the Ethereum co-founder by AI researcher and podcaster Lex Fridman. In the interview, the Ethereum's de facto leader, Fridman, asked whether it would be possible to upgrade Dogecoin to beat Bitcoin hands down, as Musk has previously suggested, with Buterin saying if Doge wants to somehow bridge to Ethereum and then people can trade Doge thousands of times a second, that would be amazing. So Vitalik went on to say, I think we can have a secure Doge to Ethereum bridge. That would be amazing. And then the Ethereum gets any scalability that works for Ethereum assets. You would be able to trade wrapped Doge with very low transaction fees and very high speed as well. And so Elon Musk saying, at least on Twitter, stating that he does agree with Vitalik and that I suppose he would be interested if this kind of thing were to be reality. Changing the narrative, of course, at the Bitcoin conference over the weekend, he was not a very popular person, essentially slapping Bitcoin maximalists in the face with his last week or so of tweets. So anyway, I don't really know where we can actually place Elon at this point in time. I mean, he has gone on the record to say that he is a bit of a mischief maker. That's what he said himself. And so, you know, is he just really, does he care? Does he really care? Is he just trying to get likes on Twitter? Is he just another billionaire narcissist? I remember seeing somebody on Twitter posting that. He's just another billionaire narcissist that just wants attention. But really though, you know, with regards to business, with regards to cryptocurrency, does he actually care? Does he actually care about the technology? I feel logically he should care somewhat, considering he is the guy behind the Tesla car. And, you know, his ideology has always been pretty positive for the environment and many other social causes. So where is this all going to lead? I guess time will tell. The other thing I found interesting was this here. So apparently Jack Mallers, if you guys don't know who he is, he's this guy here, the founder of Zap Solutions, the CEO of Zap, a Bitcoin investment and payments company that transacts over the Lightning Network. Apparently his Twitter account got suspended. So Peter McCormack here, who is a big Bitcoin proponent, did post this on Twitter the other day. And when I went to Jack Mallers' account, it was indeed suspended. But Peter McCormack brings up a very interesting point here. So 24 hours after Jack Mallers announces that El Salvador is making Bitcoin legal tender and adding it to their reserves, they suspend Jack's account. I think this is a typo here. They suspend his account. Now, since then, his account is back up, but I think it is only getting limited privileges. I know this from firsthand experience when my account got suspended. There was a point where I couldn't even sign into it, and then finally I contacted Twitter, and they gave me privileges to use my account just to observe, but I couldn't post anything. So it looks as though this is what has happened with Jack Mallers' account now. It originally got suspended, and now it's back up, but he doesn't have any photos on here, and he hasn't posted anything since his account got suspended. So interesting to note that this is what happened after he announced the El Salvador piece of news, which I did a video on this week, and I'll link it up here if you guys didn't catch that. So here's that news here. An emotional Jack Mallers announced the news at the Bitcoin 2021 conference in Miami that El Salvador is developing a bill to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender, according to President Nayib Bukele. In a videotaped announcement shown Saturday, he said he will submit the bill next week. And this was some pretty big news. We've even got Congress people like Warren Davidson tweeting about this as well. This was Warren Davidson's tweet from just yesterday. Big news from El Salvador. Nice thread explaining how Bitcoin will likely accelerate development and help people of El Salvador. So the big news posted over the weekend, Jack Mallers gets suspended on Twitter. I mean, who knows really why? But then I noticed this guy's from Rai here, and I should have remembered this from back in March, but I didn't. So I'm glad that Rai brought this up. Aha! We are officially watching a movie, ladies and gentlemen. Retweeting out the Wrath of Kahneman's tweet here, guys, from March 27th. Do you guys remember this? New Ripple user, Banco Hipotecario of El Salvador, lists a new system for international payments using Ripple's network in its 2020 annual report released this month. This will likely connect through Nio via Ripple. So here's just a highlighted screen grab from that article. A new system was created to make international transfers through the Ripple payment network, which is widely used by financial institutions around the world. Additionally, new transfer processes were created and communicated to interested users. Again, this from El Salvador from back in March of 2021. And just yesterday or 2 days ago, we got this big announcement that El Salvador will be making Bitcoin legal tender. Now, making Bitcoin legal tender and making payments through Bitcoin, in my opinion, are two very different things. Even if they make Bitcoin legal tender, that just means that the people of El Salvador can purchase Bitcoin with their fiat currency or other currencies and retain their wealth to a degree. Let's put some things into perspective here. Right now, El Salvador uses the United States dollar, so El Salvador's official currency is the US dollar, and about 1/4 of its population lives in the United States. The money that migrants send home accounts for more than 20% of the country's gross domestic product. They use the USD as their current fiat currency in order to buy and sell things in the country of El Salvador. But the president is saying, yeah, but we'll accept Bitcoin as legal tender. So does that spell out something to you? Maybe they do not trust that the US dollar is going to retain its clout on the global stage? Maybe the El Salvadorian government foresees problems down the road. I mean, I'm just speculating, but I think it does speak volumes that now they're saying, look, now we can use Bitcoin and that will be legal tender. It also gives the people of El Salvador an opportunity to purchase into a currency that historically, at least over the last decade, has just gone up and up and up, thus the opposite of inflating the value of their fiat currency. They can use the Bitcoin to transact, but I guess the question remains, will these transactions be happening through something like this? Now, this is just one bank in El Salvador that is using this new system for international payments. So it's not even for domestic payments. But could the country of El Salvador eventually realize that Bitcoin payments likely not going to be the most efficient way to transfer value? And could they expand this, for example, through a company like Nio, to be able to transfer that Bitcoin a lot quicker through the XRPL, sourcing XRP for that liquidity? And so I'm glad the Wrath of Kahneman chimed in on this. It's the weekend, so I'll go off topic for a moment. Don't trust any analysis of El Salvador's acceptance of BTC unless they mention that the official currency has been the USD since 2001. It matters. There is history in the decision as much or more than an eye towards BTC. I don't think this is primarily about Bitcoin. It's about geopolitics and China's new relationship with El Salvador. $1 billion investment promised and an invitation to join the Belt and Road Initiative after decades of dealing with the U.S. policies. So this is not particularly on the topic of what he posted here back in March, but just the president of El Salvador's decision to go with Bitcoin. What it suggests is a future fraught with currency wars that involve cryptocurrencies. I'm sure it's still a long ways off, but consider the kind of power the XRP ledger could offer in a world of dueling digital assets and dollars. So maybe national acceptance of Bitcoin is a win, and maybe it will be a disaster. I don't know, but either way, it seems that the greater diversity of assets that are adopted globally, the more useful XRP becomes. Regardless, I hope the people of El Salvador prosper, but the thing he said before that, it seems that the greater diversity of assets that are adopted globally, the more useful XRP becomes. And this just to my point earlier, right, that, even though El Salvador has accepted Bitcoin for payments, it's highly doubtful, at least in my opinion, that they will be transacting exclusively on the Bitcoin blockchain. As we know, during high times, it does get congested, and sometimes we are waiting upwards of several hours for Bitcoin transactions to go through. We've already got the Nio connection through Banco Hipotecario. And so will El Salvador eventually be running on Ripple? Well, they're already heading in that direction. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.